Bradford City continue their 2025-26 League One campaign with an away clash against Steven Schumacher's Bolton Wanderers, and in today's video you're going to find out how both teams have got on so far this season, what my starting 11 would be for this game if I was Graham Alexander. If you do go on to enjoy today's video, then don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. But my team Bradford City, we currently sit third in the League One table. After 15 matches, we've got 7 wins, 6 draws and 2 defeats, scoring 24 goals, which is still the most in the entire division, but we have also conceded 18, which is the most amount in the entire top 6. It leaves us on a positive 6 goal difference and at 27 points. Our last couple of matches then have been a loss, a draw, a draw, a draw and a draw. In terms of them last couple of matches then, in our most recent match, we had a 3-1 defeat away at Doncaster Rovers. Two very contrasting halves of football. I know they brought on 4 first teamers at half time, but first half we were outstanding. Should have been 2 or 3-0 up. We didn't really take our opportunities. Great to see Tyreek Wright on the score sheet, but second half we came out, created very little. Doncaster were a better side. Some of the goals were far too easy from their point of view, really, for them to go through and score. We have to be defending much better than that, but obviously I would expect us to play a much more different team for this game. Before that one was our 2-1 defeat at home to Bolton Albion. First home defeat of the season, just our third defeat at Valley Parade since the beginning of last season. But again, a really awful first half of football in that one from Bradford City. Second half, we upped the levels a little bit. Got to go back through Bobby Poynton, who is amongst one of the top goal scorers in this division, despite missing about a month or so with injury. But unfortunately, we could not get anything out of that one. We also had a 1-0 defeat away at Cheltenham Town. Again, really frustrating given the manner of their goal. They clearly took the free kick before the whistle was blown. The referee then blows the whistle while the player's in the middle of taking his free kick, and for some reason the goal still stands. Even now, nearly 3 weeks on, I'm still absolutely fuming about that decision. It was an awful piece of officiating from the match official in that one, and I've no idea how he got away with that. Before that one, we had a 0-0 draw at home to Lincoln City. Not really a lot created between the two sides in this game. Lincoln were probably the better side in the first half. We were probably the better side in the second half, but 0-0 was probably about right upon the balance of things. And we also had a 1-1 draw away at Stevenage. I think we had about 7 or 8 injuries for this game, and 6 or 7 of them were all starters for Bradford City. We were the first team to go away to Stevenage and take away any points, only the second team to score there all campaign as well. So given the injuries, probably a decent point, but we still haven't won in the league since September. 3 points on Saturday will be massive for us. But it's certainly not going to be an easy task, as Bolton Wanderers, they currently sit 4th in the League One table. After 15 matches, they've got 7 wins, 5 draws and 3 defeats, scoring 23 goals and also conceding 15, which leaves them on a positive 8 goal difference, the joint best in the entire division with Cardiff City, and also 26 points. Their last couple of matches then have been a win, a win, a win, a loss and a win. So just as we've hit our dip, Bolton have certainly started hitting form, winning 4 of their last 5, winning their last 3 on the bounce. They also beat Oldham Athletic 6-2 in their most recent match in the EFL Trophy. As you can see by the goal scorers, it was largely a rotated side for Bolton, and they absolutely hammered Oldham. They've certainly got it in their locker to score a lot of goals, and with how many we've conceded so far this season, that is a little bit of a concern. Before that one, they had a 4-0 win at home to Port Vale. 2 goals and 2 assists from Mario Kazia-Dubry, comfortably the best player in the entire division. Plays right wing. Our left side defensively are going to have a lot of problems trying to keep him quiet for the entire match. A player who's far too good for this level, and from a Bradford City point of view, hopefully he'll get recalled by Brighton in January, but that also does look very unlikely. Before that one, they had a 2-1 win at home to Huddersfield Town. Despite being pegged back in the second half, they managed to get through that game and pick up a victory, and that obviously sends them through to the next round of the FA Cup. Before that one, they had a 1-0 win at home to Cardiff City. Again, Kazia-Dubry scoring a 94th minute winner in this one. Absolutely outstanding strike, and obviously Cardiff are no mugs at this level. It was a big 3 points for Bolton. I think they've won every game at home so far this campaign, apart from 2 which they've drawn, which is obviously very alarming given our not particularly great away record since last season, really. And they also had a 2-1 win away at Huddersfield Town. This was a crazy game watching it on the telly. They equalised in the 93rd minute. Great header from Sam Dolby, and then pretty much straight from the kickoff, Kazia-Dubry stuck the winner in the 95th minute. I can only dream of what it was like to be in that away, and if we have something similar like that Huddersfield away goodness me, I might not survive that. But Bolton, very good team, and one that certainly go to the end. It's going to be very tough on Saturday in front of a massive crowd. I think there's over 26,000 expected, over 5,000 Bradford fans travelling as well. So should be a good game. Hopefully lots of goals, and we end with the 3 points. Before we do go any further though with today's video, please make sure to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Can we try and hit 160 likes on today's video? And don't forget to get your thoughts down in the comment section down below. Let me know down below your score prediction for this match. What would your starting 11 be as well? It looks quite likely that a lot of our recently injured players are going to be back available for this game. Only Nick Powell and Curtis Tilt are confirmed to miss this one, so it's looking likely that Sarcevic will be available, hopefully a bold win potentially, which is positive news for Bradford City. In terms of my team then for this game, I would stick with the 3-4-2-1 formation. We have seen at times this season that when we're playing against some of these better teams who are very good technically, we might need to tweak it slightly and maybe go with a striker and two strikers and an attacking midfielder rather than the other way around. But I would stick with the 3-4-2-1 just to start things out, because we've seen the likes of at home to Huddersfield and away at Cardiff where we have picked up some big results playing at this formation. In goal, I would go with Sam Walker. Based on what I've seen so far from Joe Hilton, I feel like Walker's spot in the league is pretty concrete. I think Joe Hilton was pretty poor against Doncaster. I think he commits to ground a little bit too easy and a little bit too early for my liking. He gets chipped obviously twice against Doncaster, and even the headed goal, the first goal at Doncaster scored, the ball wasn't exactly in the corner. I think he could have maybe done a little bit better with that. So Sam Walker for now does keep his place in the side despite not having a particularly great game last time out against Bolton Albion. In terms of my back three, again this back three is cemented for me. If we don't play this back three, we're going to be in big trouble. But at right centre back, I would go with Matt Pennington. We saw in the games where he was missing through concussion how much we missed him at right centre back. He's solid enough on the ball, but defensively keeps us very organised, and it's no surprise that some of our best results have come so far this season with somebody like a Matt Pennington in at right centre back. Very consistent for us so far. In the middle, I would go with Aidan Baldwin. He obviously hasn't played it since Cardiff away, which was a long time ago, around the middle of September, where he picked up a calf injury, but I think he played 45 minutes in a bounce game on Tuesday and will hopefully be available to start in this one. He might not make it through the entire match, but he's so key to our system and the way we play them diagonal balls. He's amongst one of the best in the entire division at doing that in his position. So for me personally, he comes straight back in and does start. And at left centre back, I would go with Ibu Toure. Again, when we're having to deal with the threat of a Kazia Dubry, we don't need a physical centre half like Kieran Kelly. Ibu Toure has obviously previously played at left centre back throughout this season, like at Cardiff away, Huddersfield at home, around that sort of time where we got on a very good run of form, and he was very strong in that position. They've not really got massive physical strikers. I know Burstow and Dolby are not awful in the air, but Ibu Toure I don't think we'll have to worry about that too much when they've got somebody as talented as Kazia Dubry. We must focus on him and have Toure in my marking all game. In terms of my midfield four then, at right wing back, I would go with Josh Nerfil. I must admit, I have been a little bit frustrated at times this season with Josh Nerfil, but I thought he was better against Bolton Albion. Still not back to his best, I wouldn't say, but hopefully, given the extended period of rest that he has now had, he'll come back into the side and hopefully looks fresh and ready to go once again, because obviously the way he plays, he is going to have a big outload of energy, and when you're playing Saturday, Tuesday, not really being rotated that much, it can take it out of you a little bit. So hopefully this rest has done him the world of good. In terms of my two central midfielders, firstly I would go with the captain at Max Power. I feel like in these sort of games away at Bolton, where it's going to be a big atmosphere, you need your captain in these type of matches. I feel like in the second half away at Doncaster, you could see that we didn't really have a natural captain, or our natural captain, on the pitch for that game. Other players do a decent job at filling in at times, but you need people like your Smallwoods last season, your Powers this season in these type of games. And partnering him, again, a lot of good options in at this position, but I would personally go with Alex Patterson. I feel like Bolton, they are a very good side who are very good in possession, but Alex Patterson is amongst one of the best pressers in this entire division. He can cover such a big area in such a short space of time. You know, he's very rapid off the mark, and hopefully he can maybe catch them out when Bolton are trying to overplay at the back. And we've seen away at Peterborough, for example, Patterson is very good at that. But again, if you want to start Jensen Metcalf, I am not against that whatsoever. I just feel like Patterson, a bit more experience about him, and brings obviously something that's slightly different. And completing my midfield four, at left wing back, I would go with Lewis Richards. Again, if you put in Ibu Toure in at left centre back, you either then go with Lewis Richards or Tyreek Wright at left wing back. But again, Bolton away in front of a big crowd, I'd rather have defenders who can defend first, especially when they're going up against somebody as talented as Kezia Doubre. I know they've got a lot of other very talented players, but I cannot hammer home how important Kezia Doubre is to that Bolton side and how good that he is. He could maybe do nothing for 90 minutes, but then if you switch off in the 92nd minute, which Tyreek Wright can sometimes do defensively, then we're in a lot of trouble and he'll stick one in the top corner. So I'd have Torre left centre-back, Richards at left wing-back, and I think that would work very well for us. I think it worked quite well against Doncaster in the first half as well. And finally then, as my front three, firstly, as my right attacking midfielder, I would go with Anthony Sarcevic. Fingers crossed he is back from his groin injury. He's obviously been in and out of the side quite a lot over the last couple of weeks with the odd niggle here and all that sort of stuff. Just a few slight injuries being picked up by Anthony Sarcevic. So hopefully he's back for this one. Obviously, I think Bolton are probably the only club in terms of the fan base that don't have any respect for Sarcevic. They actually dislike him quite a lot. Obviously, he had a big falling out with Ian Evatt, and the fans seem to take the side of the manager rather than the player. But from what I've seen of Sarcevic, I think he's the complete opposite of a bad egg. I think we certainly wouldn't have any of them in our changing room, and I think Sarce's just an all-round top guy and also a very good football. You know, again, he's amongst one of the top goal scorers in this division so far this campaign. Very important to the way that we play, and hopefully he is available for this one. As my left attacking midfielder, I would go with Bobby Point, and it was great to see him back against Burton, although you could tell that he'd not played football for around a month, 5 weeks or so, because he did look at times like he was lacking the match sharpness. Hopefully with the full intensity of training over the last couple of weeks and the match minutes against Burton, he'll be back to his best in this game. I'm not 100% sure if he scored away from home so far this season, so what a time to get your first away goal for the football club this campaign anyway. That would be ecstatic in front of the big away. And then finally, as my striker, again, a fair few options for who you could go here, but I would personally go with Will Swan. I think over the last couple of weeks it's very clear that Stephen Humphreys is not a striker. He plays so much better on the wing, he offers so much more. I've been very impressed with Humphreys on the wing, but in the first half against Burton, when he's playing as a striker, again, I just don't see what he offers in that position. This is not really the type of game for Andy Cook. Obviously we need our high presses, and somebody like a Will Swan has been integral to the way that we've played when we're playing against these teams that are not playing low blocks. I think you play Cook for them type of matches, but these are perfect for somebody like a Will Swan, who obviously hasn't scored for about 2.5 months or so now in the league, so hopefully he can get back on the score sheet in this one. And again, if it's not working after 60-65 minutes, we've got a lot of options now. Players are back available from injury. On the bench then for me, that would leave Joe Hilton, Brad Halliday, Joe Wright, Jensen Metcalf, Tyreek Wright, Stephen Humphreys, and also Andy Cook. You've got pretty much every position covered there. The players currently unavailable are Curtis Till and Nick Powell, but again, I don't think Curtis Till will be too far away from returning. Maybe another couple of weeks or so, a month at the absolute maximum. I would expect Till to be back before Christmas, but again, given the options that we've got, does he come straight back into the side? So the players who miss out then through selection would be Neil Byrne, Tom McIntyre, Kieran Kelly, Tommy Lee, George Lapsley, and Callum Kavanagh. Some decent players there who are missing out, but when everybody practically is available, we've got a very strong squad. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there then for today's video. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well. If you are new, can we try and hit 160 likes, as I said at the start of today's video? And don't forget to get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below. Let me know down below, do you agree or disagree with my lineup, and what is your score prediction as well? Hopefully we can get back to winning ways. We've had some big away results so far this season, going away to Stockport and winning, going away to Cardiff and winning. Given the context around that game as well, can Bradford City cause another upset in front of over 5,000 Bradford fans? Let's find out on Saturday.